Hi, I'm Larry Johnson. I'm a professor at Texas A&M University, and today we're going to talk about the digestive system.
Digestive system, the tubular structures, the taste buds, mucous serous glands, epiglottis, skeletal, and smooth muscle, and the transition to the stomach from the esophagus.
Now, if we start with the oral cavity and the tongue, there's different types of papillae that project up to there. The filiform papillae are the one that move food. They have no taste buds. All the others have taste buds. Here you have the foliate, kind of like little square things, and the circumvallate. Circumvallate is my favorite one. They have these glands of Ebner that wash out your French fries, so now you can taste your hamburger. And here we can see the taste buds in there. If you look at this one, Histo 51, you see that the epithelium is non-keratinizing, stratified squamous epithelium, more than one layer, flattened cells on the surface, and you see these filiform papillae project up through there. There's a skeletal muscle in your tongue because you have control over your tongue, and there's also serous and mucous glands in the tongue. Here you can see the filiform papillae. Look at this little boy just been licked by a calf, and they have a really rough tongue. And the cats have a rough tongue too. If you've ever been licked by a cat, you know you can feel these papillae. And these projections allow, in the case of the cat, the cleaning of things, or the case of us, to be able to move food under our teeth. Here we can see a rabbit. We can see the filiform papillae. Also, they have these foliate papillae as well. These here kind of squares, and they have taste buds. That's what we see here. There's 4 taste buds right here, a couple more here, 3 more there, and you can see some serous glands in through there, as well as skeletal muscle. If we come down the esophagus, you got stratified squamous epithelium. You still have the same layers, muscularis externa. And oftentimes the muscularis mucosa is intermittent, as we see. And so here we can see the esophagus, stratified squamous epithelium, non-keratinized, with nuclei all the way to the surface. And then the muscularis externa, as we see the submucosa, the muscularis mucosa, and the lamina propria and the epithelium that we see. Okay, another shot of the esophagus shows the stratified squamous epithelium, lamina propria, muscularis mucosa, and then we see the submucosa, and then we see the muscularis externa. And we can see a hieroglyph that is composed of skeletal muscle and smooth muscle. If we look here, stratified squamous epithelium of the esophagus, the muscularis mucosa, intermittent as I mentioned, lamina propria above that, this is the mucosa. Below that is a submucosa. And so the submucosa is here, and then the muscularis externa, which is skeletal muscle, as we can see in this area. Also, at the top part, you don't have a serosa, you have an adventitious. And this is the perichondrium, or the cartilage that's in the trachea in this case. So the upper part, it starts out with the adventitious where it's attached. Doesn't have a serosa, which allows it to move. You can see some serous and mucous glands up through here. Now, in the upper part of the esophagus, it's mostly skeletal muscle where you can control it. You can initiate swallowing, you can initiate regurgitation, but then the middle and the lower region of the esophagus, it changes from skeletal muscle to smooth muscle. So it's more smooth muscle all the way down, other than the upper part of the esophagus. And so the esophagus, stratified squamous epithelium, all of a sudden abruptly changes to a simple columnar epithelium when you go from the esophagus to the cardiac region, and through here, then the fundic region. And so this is the cardiac region here. This is the fundic region, which has hydrochloric acid secreting cells, parietal cells, and chief cells, as opposed to this just has a mucus type cell.
We want to acknowledge the contributions of the original sources of figures that may have been taken from textbooks and we acknowledge that here. This is the end of the digestive system, tubular structures, taste buds, mucus, serous glands, esophagus, skeletal and smooth muscle, and the transition to the stomach from the esophagus.